Considering the channel's called Making for Motorsport, there hasn't been much motorsport. Until today. Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Making for Motorsport, where we make more, spend less and go faster. Well, it's the going faster bit we're interested today. There's not been many events recently because of global pandemic, but you can see we've got the Mini on the trailer, we've got no kids or wife, so we're off to play. So we're heading to the People's Republic of Yorkshire to go compete in the Nick Eyre Memorial Autotest put on by Alwoodley Motor Club. This is part of the National Championships for Autotesting, which is the sport that I do. Now, what is Autotesting? Well, that is best explained with some moody slow-mo and a bit of a voiceover. Hit it. No, that's enough of the slow-mo. Right, what is auto testing? Well, it is precision driving around a set course, forwards and backwards, against the clock. So the cars are divided into 4 classes. So you've got the small saloons, which are basically all minis. You've got the large saloons, which are Novas and Corsas, and kind of the smaller hatchback size. You've got sports cars, which are things like Caterhams, Westfields. And then you've got specials, which are the saloons with more transparent area, i.e. the roof cut off, or something completely homebrew that you've made all on your own. Either way, pretty much whatever you're driving, there's a home for it in one of those classes. So how do you know which way to go? Well, you've got a test diagram. And on that test diagram are pylons that you've got to drive around in the correct way, lines that you've got to cross in the correct direction. You've got a path that you've got to follow, so a solid line is forwards, a dotted line is backwards, and stopper strides, which means that the 2 wheels on the leading axle must cross the line and the 2 wheels on the other axle must not, whether you're going forwards or backwards. And put it all together and it looks like this, which is fairly simple. Now, things you must not do is 1, hit the pylons. If you hit a pylon, that gives you a 5-second penalty, and number 2, you must not go more than 2 wheels over any of the lines, as that will give you also a 5-second penalty. And if you happen to go the wrong way, that will get you a maximum, which means 20 seconds more than the fastest time in your class. On most events, there's about 3 different tests to learn, and you have 5 rounds where you try each one of those tests once. All times count, so any mistakes can be very costly. And that's it, Auto Testing 101. A couple of hours driving and we're here, Acaster Mavis Airfield. This is a disused airfield which up and down the country are home to grassroots motorsport, and this is no different. So taking the car off the trailer, first off, it wasn't running cleanly. Only on 3 cylinders, not great, but nevertheless we'll throw it at scrutineering so that it gets that box ticked. Now, scrutineering is basically the chance for the organisers to verify that your car meets the rules and regulations. Now, this is primarily for safety and generally auto testing low speed, so it's fairly light touch, but nowadays with COVID in the air, it's distinctly no touch at all. So there's a couple of aspects. Number one is a noise check, so you've got to hold the engine at high revs, and they measure the sound output. This one passed. And the second aspect to this scrutineering is a brake check. So just lock up all four wheels, job's a good one, no problems. So we're all signed on, scrutineered, everything's passed, cars unloaded. So the next thing to do is to learn the test. So I've got the test diagrams here. Oh, it's upside down, no good. So we've got the test diagrams. Got some tests. There's some people doing their walking. Looks a little silly, but you know, it's the best way to learn it is to walk it. And I'm gonna go do some test walking. So you can't really hear it on this footage, but the car's running like a pig. There's a massive flat spot in the middle of the rev range, and ever since taking it off the trailer, it's never been on more than 3 cylinders. I checked the plugs, which, to be fair, need new plugs, so they're the first thing to try. Wire brushed them, they look alright, not fixed the issue. Okay, maybe something a bit more fundamental, but I ran out of time, so I just had to do the first round. It's not flowing very well, lacking the instant power to move the car as I need to, and also it weighs on your mind, so things just aren't flowing. So it's running like an absolute pig, and I think I know why. This air inlet temperature is all over the place, so I think that's having a massive effect. It shouldn't be minus 28, it's nowhere near minus 28. There you go, minus 28, crazy. So that's doing some crazy stuff to the IAT. That's taking us out of whack with the enrichments. Okay, so I've 100% cheated it. I can't get that number to say a sensible number. So what I've done is I've just removed any of the density correction. So it's always going to be reading about 100% fuel, whatever that gauge tells the ECU. Now that is wrong. It's not right. But this is one of the good things about being able to plug in and diagnose a problem. I'm pretty sure we fixed it. For the short term, it'll get me through this event. It's not going to hurt the engine. It's not going to give me any real performance drops that I will notice. So I'm going to take it up and down a few times and just see if that's cured it. Instantly, that's so much better. I've neutralized the issue and we can carry on, and hopefully the next couple of rounds we can do a little bit better. So the bodge on the intake air temperature sensor worked, and it worked like a charm. So the car is running really well. It definitely is a bodge, it needs to be sorted for next time out, but it's running really nicely from the driver's seat. In fact, it's running so nicely, I get excited and overcook it onto this line. So straight away, there's a line penalty, 5 seconds, and I have to do a shunt to reposition the car, easily another 4 or 5 seconds. So that's 10 seconds down on a test that should take 50 seconds. Quite a penalty. However, round 3, get my life together, start to feel the flow of the tests, and we're starting to do some decent times now. We're starting to put some respectable times together, and things are starting to flow. I'm starting to enjoy myself. Yeah, there is a reason I do this sport. So that's it. So it's lunchtime now, so we've done 3 rounds. We've got 3 more left to go. Check the results. We're 10th overall, first in class, so 10th overall isn't great. but the car is going well, and to the point now where I think what we're going to do is throw the data logger on it so we can start gathering some more data. We have a look at that when we get back at base later this evening. So if you don't mind, I'll crack on with that. So after lunch, the form continues to improve. We're really understanding the tests now, and the car's running nicely, so we're putting in some good times within a second, 2 seconds of the quick boys. And where do you find the time? Well, you find it close to the pylons, but this, yeah, that's a bit close for my liking, but hey, a miss is as good as a mile, so might just give that a little bit more room on the next round. So just before we started round 6, I was driving to the tests, and on overrun there was a horrible machiney grindy noise. I don't have a spare gearbox with me, there's nothing I can really do, I've just got to go on to the tests and nurse it. So the first test, okay, not too bad, I was about a second or so off the pace, but there are no long reverses. Easy. The second test, on the other hand, not so good. And on the first long reverse, this happened. And yes, that is the car shaking. So I have to take it very, very easy on all the rest of the reverses. And all told, this costs me somewhere in the region of about 10 seconds on this test alone. So 12 seconds overall for the gearbox failure. It could be worse. I could have been stranded out on the test and picked up a maximum. Hey, it'll drive on the trailer. That makes life a lot easier. So I'm done all my rounds. The last round, gearbox issue. Exactly what the problem is, I don't know. I'm going to have to take the bits. Maybe flash a picture up here if I find the issue. But in the meantime, the rest of the results are still going on. The rest of the people are still going around, so I'm going to take a few more pictures and do some lovely moody slow-mos, and then we're going to find out what the results are. So winner of the event was Alistair Moffat by 4.3 seconds from Dave Mosey. 4.3 seconds in it after 10.5 minutes of competition. That's pretty good, and these guys are both multiple champions, and you can tell it's nice and close to the cones, nice and smooth, lots of speed carry through, and you can see, I mean, it looks even faster in slow-mo if that's possible. So that's it, event done. Congratulations to Alistair on the win, and to Alwoodley Motor Club putting on such a great event. I know I enjoyed it, I think everyone else did. Yeah, the result, on the other hand, not great. 11th overall, first time out of the top 10 for a long time. And okay, we had the gearbox issue, which cost me about 12 seconds and a handful of places. But even without that, yeah, I underperformed the car. My consistency wasn't there. I had some great tests, so the potential was there. So yeah, okay, fine. Something I need to improve on. But apart from the intake air temperature sensor going skewy and the gearbox issue, the car ran like a hot damn. When it was running really well, it was running really well. And the 3D printed manifold is holding up really well as well. So that's all positive. So what we need to do is look into this gearbox to figure out what's gone wrong with it and get it fixed for the next time out. I'll have a bit of a play with the boroscope when I get home, and I'll put some of that footage in here if it's any good. Yeah, the boroscope couldn't see anything, so we stripped it down on the healing bench and found this. This is a bit of the casting broken away around the circlip groove retaining the bearing. Doesn't look like I got it in properly, and it was only this that was holding the main shaft in. My bad. The other issue we need to fix, now this is a longer term issue, is the throttle pedal. So I was thinking about this as I was driving home, and I was struggling to control the wheel spin. So I don't have the accuracy on the throttle pedal because it's such a short throw. Now that's down to the throttle bodies when we put them on, something I commented on in the video. Sports mode but I think we need to change it long term. So I could mod the throttle bodies. No, we'll leave them as a pack. But I could change the throttle pedal itself, move the hinge, change the lever arms. Yeah, that'd be nice, simple, relatively cheap. But that doesn't sound like an interesting YouTube video. Simple and reliable. Yeah. Or we could do a mechanical kind of bell crank cable exchange device. That could be interesting. Or we could just go drive-by-wire. Let me know, guys. Put an answer or your thoughts in the comments as to the direction we should go to fix this. And also put your thoughts in the comments on this event report. It's the first time I've done one. So didn't really know what I was doing. So got good, bad. Do you want to see more of some stuff, less of other stuff? Do you want to see less of this as a whole? You know, David, shut up, get back to the how to DIY project stuff. Just let me know. It's always great to get feedback from you guys, and it's always interesting to hear what your thoughts are on this type of stuff. So I'm nearly home and I'm absolutely filthy, covered in dust, so I'm in dire need of a shower. So I think we'll wrap it up, and I'll just say thank you very much for watching. If you've got this far, give it a thumbs up, that's always appreciated. And keep your wheels spinning. Catch you later.